Hey everybody, John here from NASCAR Heat Evolution, the new NASCAR game from Duesenberry Martin Racing, or DMR. They took this title over from Eutechnics, thank goodness. The last three titles by those clowns were absolute garbage. So I kind of want to take you through here and just get a look at it. $60 just came out this week. Maybe you can decide for yourself whether or not it's worth that kind of money. I'm going to take you through and kind of look at the physics of it, how it looks, how it sounds, and maybe my expectations of where I hope this thing goes. Right off the bat, you see we have a various amount of different options that we can race. We can either do single races, challenges, which are kind of real world situations taken right out of the Sprint Cup that you can compete in. Championship, which is going to be, whoops, I hit the wrong button. Here we go. Scratch that. So championship, you can do just a chase, you can do a regulation season, 6-track, 12-track, 23-track, which I think is pretty cool. You can also do career mode, which is where you start off as a small team and kind of try and work your way up through the ranks. And then there's obviously a multiplayer. In the options, you see here you can have full damage, light damage, no damage. You can also set the, I think it's in advanced options here, you can set physics to normal or simulation, and do your manual or automatic transmission. So DMR really was adamant they wanted this to appeal to any kind of racing game fan, all the way from the beginner up to the experienced sim racer. I'm going to be driving it as a sim, and that's how I'm going to kind of be evaluating it. And I think any sim can be a good game for beginners with the right assist, much like the original NASCAR racing games were for Papyrus back in the day. So we'll see how this one stacks up. One thing I will say is I wish it had mouse and keyboard support for PC. This is kind of a pain in the butt. I'm going through this on my G27 controller, and I keep messing it up because I'm not used to doing that. So here's what we'll do. I'm going to be my boy Kyle Larson here, who just got his first win recently, and we'll go right into, we'll do Atlanta, or let's do Texas. Let's show Texas. And I'm going to go out, and I'm going to run a couple of laps here. I'll take you through what I've seen in setups. Run a couple of laps so you can kind of see what the game looks like, what it feels like, and sounds like. And then I'm going to compare that to iRacing. A lot of people would say that's not a fair comparison. And that'd be true, I think, if you were talking about just straight up the racing quality in this game to the racing quality in iRacing. You're not going to touch the quality of racing in a game where everybody's a human. That's not what I'm talking about. But I think every racing game is built on the same things, and that's going to be good graphics, good sound design, good physics, you know, kind of what you see, what you hear. That's the core of any racing game, and then what you feel. So I want to judge what you're seeing and what you're hearing and what you're feeling and compare that to another racing game that's been out for a while that they should be able to measure up to. But before that, we're going to look into setups. And I'm going to see, how does I get into, okay, garage. I'm going to go into the garage, and we're going to take a look at the setups. And we can see right here, right from the get-go, it's kind of a dumbed-down version of a real NASCAR setup. If you've tried to set up a car in iRacing, this is nowhere near as complicated. For me, that's a good thing. I am not good at setups, and I've been very upfront about the fact that I don't do it because I just don't know enough about it. The setups in iRacing are extremely complicated because of this. This is an easier version, but I still think if you're going to really want to appeal to that hardcore sim racer, you could have maybe a setup with a medium setup difficulty and then full setup options. Here you can see down here on front ride height, rear ride height, that's not accurate. The ride heights are measured at each corner of the race car, and any change you make is going to affect potentially all of those ride heights, and it's very, very difficult to get them even. But here they're kind of mashed into one. So maybe I'll mess around with setups in this game, who knows, because they do seem a lot easier. The one thing that concerns me is this right here, gear settings. You can't mess with that in real life. NASCAR sets the gear ratios for these cars. You cannot change them. The teams cannot change them. They can change the rear end, but they may not change the actual gear ratios in the transmission. So they used to be able to, maybe back when the original NASCAR Heat came out. So this makes me kind of concerned that this setup has been yanked from the original game, you know, which is what, 12, 15 years old, and given a new paint job and slapped into this one. So just some concerns with the setup screen there. That being said, we will get out on the track and run a couple laps. So you see here we have a couple of different views. You have the outside view, you have the inside view, and the inside of the car, it looks pretty good. It doesn't look great. It looks okay. I'll give it an okay rating. The one thing I don't like, you can't change your field of view. This is a little far back for me, but we'll live with it. The other view is here, kind of on the hood, which might be a better field of view for me. But like I said, I'm going to treat this like a sim, so I'm going to race from the inside of the car here. So I got to start the car up, and as you can hear, it sounds like a 1985 Chevy Cavalier starting, so that's great. And you hear right off the bat, the engine sounds are, and this is bad. This sounds like a computer this sounds like my, 66 megahertz DX2 computer pretending to be a race car in the year 1999. So, not super impressed with the sound design. But here we'll take a couple laps around Texas so you can see what it looks like. And you can see kind of maybe what it feels like a little bit too. The wheel is mirroring what my wheel is doing fairly well. And I also will spin the car so you can hear the god-awful tire squealing sounds. So here we go, just a lap around here, and then we'll compare it to iRacing.
Car high, clear high.
Okay, so we hear that just terrible. Yeah, that's awful. That's not necessary. Now it's stuck on that. Oh dear, what have we done? So, sound design is going to be my major gripe right off the bat here. I did not care for it, don't care for it. The car felt pretty good, but we're going to compare what we saw there at Texas, and we're going to go right to iRacing. All right, so here we are in iRacing at Texas inside the Gen 6. As you can see, I have a different field of view in here because it is adjustable in iRacing, and honestly, it is in most racing games. Project Cars, it's adjustable. So a lot of different games come with that adjustable field of view because I understand people have different monitors. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to fire this bad boy up. And doesn't that sound good? That sounds like a race car, not a computer trying to be a race car. iRacing, it has wonderful sound design. I really like it. We're going to come out here, take a couple laps and practice. I will spin the car out so you can hear the squealing of the tires and compare that as well. And I'm not trying to, I don't know, I'm not trying to slam the DMR game. What I am trying to say is they're behind. They're behind. There's no excuse for not having good sound and great track design and great looks to your game in a NASCAR game in 2016. So that's really all I'm comparing it to, but here we go. I'll take a lap here at Texas and iRacing, and you can be the judge. So there we go. You can hear the squealing of the tires much better, or is a much more pleasing sound in this game. And sound design is really important in a racing game because you're taking so many of your cues from the sound. shift points, and also whether or not you're sliding the car, whether that be pushing or getting loose off the corners. You're taking that kind of from the cues that are being given to you by the squealing of the tires. So I like the sound to be good. I like it to be pleasant. And I feel like DMR really messed that one up, and I hope that's changed very soon. But anyway, we'll head right on back to the game. And we are back in NASCAR Heat. And now we're at Atlanta. I wanted to give this track a shot. I'm just going to skip straight to the race and screw qualifying, and I'm going to try and just really get a feel for how the car drives coming from the back. Now, we're going to start. You might have noticed we started in first gear. This is a pet peeve of mine in racing games. They want to take the controls of the car away from you under caution and down pit road, and I hate that. Also, I don't like being forced to start in first gear. I really dislike... I'm just going to push these guys 3 wide. I don't care.
Still there?
Ooh, a little loose on entry there. Get off of me, Eric. And anyway, I think if you're going to... Well, the apron's one way to do it.
All clear.
This is chaos. I think if you're going to... People buy racing games because they want to drive race cars. And so the less you take the car away from them and make it autopiloted, the better. I just don't care for that at all. I don't like it when... getting on and off of pit road quickly and efficiently is a skill. And it's part of racing. And just like saving fuel under a caution is part of racing, and it's a skill, and it's a fun part of racing. So I can understand if you wanted to put a thing in that would maybe, as I'm just running them 3 wide around the outside here, in true Kyle Larson fashion. I understand if you maybe wanted to give the option to skip the yellow flag, skip the caution lap, skip straight to green. That'd be great, but I would still like to have control of the car before the green flag waves. Like maybe on the backstretch coming to green. But ideally, I want control of the car from the time I get in it until the time the race is over. So I hope they fix that. I wish they would fix that. And see, that's kind of my first gripe is I've never cared for that in any game. I'll scrape the wall a little bit there. I've never cared for that in any game where they just kind of assume, oh, this guy, it's a caution flag, he doesn't want to drive the car anymore. He's on pit road, he doesn't want to drive the car anymore. I do want to drive the car. I want to drive the car the whole time. And it'd be an easy fix. Essentially, you just start them all on pit road. As we come up here on the back of Eric Almirola and Chase Elliott, you start them on pit road in a grid, and you could even do a little pre-race, cut scene, wing them a thing where you were saying, oh, yeah, here they are lined up at Atlanta, ready to go, blah, 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 waiting for the command to fire engines. You make the call to get in the car, and then it's your car for the rest of the event. That's what I would like. But maybe I'm alone in that. I don't know. I just think anytime you're taking the controller out of the hands of the player, you're doing it wrong. You're doing the game wrong. And I really don't care what kind of game it is. I will say this. The driving in this game is pretty fun. It's surprising how close it is to iRacing. I'm kind of surprised how close they're able to get it there. I'm sure Ooh. It's not, obviously, get out of my way, Jamie McMurray. I'm sure, what was I saying? This is actually a lot of fun. I am having quite a bit of fun here. And the reason I'm kind of flying by everybody is you get a speed rating on the tracks you go to. And I haven't ever been to Atlanta, so I don't have a speed rating here. So the game does not know where I'm at. What the game does with that speed rating then is it adjusts the AI performance so that it tailors it's constantly tailoring the AI to you. which I think is really cool. But that's also why I'm really a lot faster than these guys, because I don't have a speed rating here. So
Stay low.
I'm sure once you do a couple, in theory, once you do a couple races, the AI is going to be tailored to you, and it's, whoa, hi there. It's going to be much more of a challenge. I also really like how the,
Still there.
get out of my way. I also really like how the AI don't seem to be on rails. They're challenging each other. They're racing each other. In the previous Utechnic
All
games,
clear.
you would see them kind of get just single file, and they were on rails. They didn't know you were there, and they would just run you over or ignore you completely as you tried to race around them. Whoa, 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 up in the loose stuff. I overdrove the core. I'm overdriving the crap out of the whole thing. You're not as loose here as in iRacing. That's to be expected.
Stay low.
But
Still
it's,
there.
ooh, it's close. It is close. I'll give it that.
All clear.
And that was one of the things DMR said, was they felt like they had a good kind of driving experience. Look at that. Austin Dillon just moves right up out of the way. He saw I was coming on the inside. I'm running my suck so much, my driving line is garbage. But DMR has said
Stay low.
that they just wanted to get this game into the hands of the player, because they felt like if they could get it into the hands of the player, they had a good enough and fun enough driving product that they could fix the small stuff later. I hope the first thing they fix is the sound, because it's really driving me insane. And it also I kind of feel like I paid $60 for a beta. But, you know, if they do hold to their word, I should just wreck Kyle Busch and take us both out on
Still
principle.
there. Clear high.
But if they do stick to their word and update things and continue to improve the game, I think this could be a really good title. I've driven a couple
Okay,
races
that's the
now,
halfway mark now.
and the track feels good. You get down here on the bumpier part of the track, and you feel it in the steering wheel, and you see it on the screen, and it affects the handling of the car. So I'm kind of surprised. And look at Ryan Blaney. I almost said Dave Blaney. Ryan Blaney up there having a great run in that Penske car. Missed out on the chase this year. Unfortunate for that guy. But yeah, the actual driving. Whoa!
You're all
Denny,
clear.
you
All high.
Joe Gibbs piece of garbage. I will put you in the wall.
All clear.
The actual driving is, I got to give it to them. They did a good job
All clear.
from what I've experienced thus far. And I think what I'm going to do with this game, and maybe I'll do a video series on it where I'll do the career mode. iRacing is kind of
That was your best lap ever.
stressful. It's something you have to be mentally up for to do. And sometimes I'm just not. I don't like dealing with people. I don't like dealing with people in real life. That's why I play video games a lot. And I don't like being forced to deal with people in video games. The thing with iRacing, though, it's such a good product and so fun that I'm willing to forgive it that flaw of having a human element, when the human element is what makes it really, really good, too. But sometimes I'm just not, I don't want to sit down with a bunch of other guys and have them get mad at me or listen to them fight or whatever it is. It's just, sometimes I don't want to deal with other people at all. And so a game like this, if it can allow me to scratch that itch of wanting to race and have a semi-authentic racing experience, and allow me to pause the game and go take care of the kids or let the dog out or whatever, that's great.
That was your best
So,
lap ever.
and hopefully that it does that. And from what I'm seeing right now, honestly, I think if the sound was on, I'd be really super happy. So, the game feels good. If you've got a wheel, it feels really good. Oh, too much. Got talking. Too much. Don't you do it.
Still there.
It's a bit of an aggressive move, but whatevs.
Clear low.
Am I in lead? Am I lead? Am I in the lead? No, who am I chasing down? I just passed Brad Keselowski for second. and you'll notice he's driving a car that says Brad on it. You can, I haven't figured out how to do it yet, you can unlock his Miller Lite car, but you have to do some age verification window to get the actual beer sponsorship. His will be the only beer sponsorship because they have a partnership apparently with DMR Racing. Or DMR Racing. 5 to go. Who's the leader? I wish I could bring up some sort of relative like you can in other games. I'm sure you can. I just am not smart enough to do it. I wish I really would like this to have mouse and keyboard support. There's Tony Stewart having just a terrible day. A lap down, obviously. 36th place. What? Get out of my way, Trevor. I'm trying to win a race here.
Still there. Clear low.
Is that Joey Logano up there? Is that who I'm chasing down? I'm asking, he said to no one in particular. Yeah, this game, I gotta be honest, when I first turned it on and heard the sounds, and also when you first get this, if you do buy this game, when you first get it, you're going to need to turn down the sensitivity on your wheel and or controller, whatever it is you're using, because it is stupid sensitive and really hard to drive. But once I dialed the wheel in, and also the brakes are way too sensitive. It is Joey Logano. Once you kind of dial your controls in, this is really fun to drive. And like I said, this is not far off of iRacing, which is going to be my benchmark, obviously, for any kind of sim. Get out of my way, Danica. And I'm really surprised at what kind of a similar line, the similar brake points. Oh, I've got him. Similar brake points, turn-in points and everything. They obviously have done their homework. There's the canned crowd cheering, because I would hear that over my 800 horsepower race car. But yeah, it is, I gotta say, the driving in this is quite a bit of fun. Do not ruin this for me, David Reagan. Logano putting her down on the apron.
All clear.
I will say this too, I felt the tires go away a little bit as the race has gone on. It's gotten a little pushier, which is really cool. There we go.
Great job.
He grabs the win. Kyle Larson for the win. So now you see it's giving me a speed rating, so whenever I race this track in the future, the game will know. Also, is there a replay function? I haven't been able to figure out a replay on this game. Another thing I really like to have in racing games. Oh, there it is. Never mind. I just figured it out. You just saw it. So there's a replay. We'll take you through that. Change the old camera. The game looks good. It's got a good look to it, I think. It could use a little polishing, but that's okay. The tracks look good. The cars drive great. They really do. It feels good. It just does not sound good, and it's got a few things. The restarts in particular and taking control down pit road that I really don't care for. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to playing this game. I'm looking forward to doing a career and looking forward to posting that on YouTube. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Keep it out of the fence.